everyone. It's been a long time since I've been here. Long time no see, but I have been keeping up with all of you all's comments. I want to thank you all for your patience. Thank you all for those who have newly subscribed. I think I gained like 13 people or something like that since I've been away. So thank you for subscribing anyway. But I am back, and I know it's been so much that has happened since I've been gone. Um, but before I get into anything, I do want to issue a disclaimer because, I am a tarot reader, and, sometimes we talk about certain things that could or reveal certain things that sometimes people would like to sue us for. So just to protect myself and my audience, and, everyone else here around me, know that everything stated in sport is alleged for entertainment purposes only. Opinions are not facts. Please make sure you do your research. Make sure that you are not just taking me as your one all be all kind of source. I know a lot of us typically don't, but just to make sure that I am being above board with things, I'm simply someone who does intuitive readings. So if anything of the sort of tarot reading, of numerology, of astrology, things like that is something that upsets you, this is your moment to click off because, we talk about the mystical, the world, the ether. We talk about things outside of just the mundane here. So there's things that it doesn't resonate with you. If you feel like people who read astrology, read cards, etc., is blasphemous and going against your religion, it doesn't resonate with your soul, again, this is your time to click off. I do not want you to come here and think you're going to find all the juicy bits that you're going to. Also, let me add that, again, thank you all for still sticking around despite my absence. I have been moving, and as you can hear, I'm not even fully settled in yet. I am still getting things done, but I have been away for like well over a month, and I was like, I can't hold off anymore. Like, I need to get my stuff together. So we're gonna have a weird setup for a moment. Hopefully, it's all working. It doesn't detract from any of the messages and things that I am going to deliver. So, yes, thank you for your patience again. Thank you all for your lovely comments. And yeah, so let's just kind of get into this. I have heard all the rumors and the crazy things with Cassie. I think a lot of that broke like soon after I went away on hiatus for to move and everything to get everything settled. And then it just as fast as it came, it got solved right away. Um, and I do remember there is a, I don't know if she calls herself a diviner or a seer, or what do they call those people who kind of like talk to the dead? It's blanking on me right now, but I do know there is someone here on YouTube who predicted that all of this is going to happen. I remember seeing her video. And so a lot of it is kind of like come true. So big ups to her, big shout out to her. I think her name is Bella. And then all of this allegations is just snowballing since Cassie has come forth about her, I guess you could say, encounter with Diddy, and a lot of people are coming forward and suing and saying things about him, and it's just been like, wow. So I do want to point your eyes. Oh, let me do this here because it's a different angle. Wait, which is it? So I do want to point your eyes here because there will be an iCard. I did do some previous readings in regards to kind of like Diddy's um his lovely parties that he likes to do. I did do a reading on kind of like him and Kim Porter. That is something that you can also see as well. I won't be rehashing those, but you can definitely see, go watch the videos that I did just to kind of like have that extra perspective and whatnot. So yeah, it just seems like there's been a lot of stuff that's kind of been going on in regards to that. So there has been a lot of craziness that's been going on with P. Diddy. So I figured, yeah, why not come back and finish up with him, because I know before I left he was one of the last people I did. So why not come back and finish it off? One deck that's going to be very easy for me to interpret and read, just because it's been so long since I've done a reading, and this is kind of like my warm up. So again, disclaimer, All statements made are alleged for entertainment purposes because I am rusty. I am rusty. I will be honest with you. So it's going to be a cut for you all, but I'm just going to take my time and unload these boxes so I can have the cards ready. Okay? See you back here in just a second. All right, I am back. I just want to kind of shuffle these really quick. We're going to get into the interview of P. Diddy and kind of what's going to be the outcome with all of these lawsuits. We're just going to see what's going to be coming down the pipe for P. Diddy moving forward as we roll into next year, because I doubt anything else will probably be coming out, but let's just see. It's the future, just what's coming through for P. Diddy's future. But yeah, let's get into this and let's see what's coming up for P. Okay, so far we have King of Coins, but it's coming up in reverse. There's another one. Ooh, he is gonna be in for a battle here, but I don't know if it's gonna be a battle easily won or worth fighting. The fact that all of this is coming up in reverse for him, okay. So what I'm getting here, of course, we have the King of Coins here. It's in the upright for you all, but it's actually in reverse for me. So the King of Coins to me just translates into him having trouble. He feels like his empire, his legacy, his um, yeah, his legacy, his empire, his money is in trouble. He thinks maybe he really does truly think that a lot of people are just solely coming after him for his money. Maybe he's really so detached from the fact that like you really hurt people, you've caused a lot of trauma, you've caused a lot of hurts, you left a lot of bodies in your wake, and that you don't see that or understand that speaks volumes. I don't know if he's just like upgraded and leveled to a certain place where he just feels like, no, people really were consent to this. People really didn't see a problem with a lot of the stuff that I was doing, um, which is weird to me because obviously you knew it was wrong. Otherwise, you wouldn't be trying to hide some of the stuff that he was doing, allegedly. Like, you're paying some of um, these workers off. You were hiding them. Hid allegedly you hid Cassie away after you beat her. All of these things. So obviously there was some association, there was some grounding, there was some living in the moment, there was some humanity, I guess you can kind of say, still there within you, but for whatever reason I guess you just thought it never was going to catch up to you. Again, going back to this Five of Wands, but they're coming up in reverse. I really think there is a thing here. I just heard pick and choose your battles. I think he is probably picking and choosing which battles he can win, which ones will be better paid, just paying off, making disappear. I think he's trying to prevent anyone else possibly coming after him, anyone else who may have. I kind of feel like tying up loose ends. I don't want anything else to come out because again, this is hindering my money. I am trying to protect my legacy. I don't want this to be a thing that defines me for the rest of my life. And, people don't want to deal with me. Excuse me. This feels very much like current energy. And then we get here in the devil. Um, Two things: devil in the details and the devil you know. It's typically like the sayings that usually come to mind for me. The way this smoke just kind of like encapsulated me, it's weird. Um, but anyways, this just feels like, yeah, to me, just, I know typically people see the world card or the wheel of fortune is kind of like karma, maybe even like the justice and the hanged man. Sometimes people might see those as karma, but this kind of feels like karma to me. Like for so long you were the boogeyman in people's closet, and now people are tired of you kind of like suppressing them or being the big bad wolf in their life, and they want to be able to move on. And one of those ways that they can do that, they can see the, see some sort of light moving forward, is seeing that you answer for the crimes that you have committed, essentially. And so it's interesting that that comes up. And then lastly, for the underlying card, he has a Six of Swords. And this is the only thing that is coming up in the upright, which is scary to me. Which is it reads abnormal to me for what I get off of P. Diddy. Like, he doesn't come off as the type of person who like runs away, but this is giving like cowardice. This is like running for the hills. This is like running and hide, running and seeking. This is trying to like move on to calmer waters. Um, the other underlying card he has as well was the Eight of Coins. And so typically in this deck with the Eight of Coins, I usually see that as trying to force something when it shouldn't have to be forced, because if it was meant for you, you would have it. You wouldn't have to work this hard. Or it could be a thing of like, if you were, doing what you were supposed to do kind of thing, you wouldn't have to um bleed essentially to kind of like get your come up. So it's pretty interesting all of these cards are. So let's see here. We're gonna go on with this Dark Mirror Oracle. We're gonna get some clarity, hopefully. Gonna ask for some clarity. Can I get some clarity on spirit? What's coming up in PD's future? Downcast pride. Here we go. Speaking about the mundane, we're talking about the mundane here with, the coins. It usually speaks to the material world, the physical world. Your downcast pride speaks to like, a lot of people say you have three different things. You have your ego, your id, and your super ego, I think it is. Psychology majors, correct me. But it's funny he has the like downcast pride of like, there's some things about this that is coming out again, and I kind of was expressing this when I first seen the King of Coins here, not just so much of his legacy and his wealth, but so much of like yeah, him, this feeling like he doesn't want this to be attached to his character. He doesn't want to be like the next um the guy who had the secret island who, you know, suddenly decided to commit slip and slide in jail, or he doesn't want to be another famous movie director who a lot of people drug through the mud and he had to, go to prison. He doesn't want to be the next um, um, black entertainer who has all this money and you meet your great downfall because of things that you did in your past. Like, he doesn't want that to be his legacy. He doesn't want to be the next. Um, I'm trying to word this carefully, but he doesn't want to be the next person who has, I brought all these other people up and now everybody has something to say about me, and I'm being maligned and associated with all these other bad people in Hollywood. I don't want that to be like my legacy, whether that's, or a part of my legacy, whether that's true or not. Do you get what I'm saying? So I think there is some groveling that he's having to do behind the scenes as well. There is something humbling about this that he is that's not sitting right with him. I'll say that it's not sitting right with him. Like, I worked this hard and I made these connections with all of these people and did all of this stuff and got away with all of these things for so long because I'm associated with the right people. And the fact that I had to come crawling back, it puts a foul taste in his Let's see. What are we getting for the Five of Wands for Diddy? I keep getting two cards I want to flip out, but let's see if I can single it down to one. Spirit can give me one card with the Five of Wands and the P Diddy. Peaceful amongst the thorns. It's funny to me that this comes up on top of like conflict. Conflict that's probably not going to be settled well anyway. I think again this speaks to this week's kind of scary for me because P Diddy is a Scorpio. If I'm correct, if I'm not mistaken, sorry, if I'm not mistaken, he is a Scorpio, and Scorpio sometimes can be very slick, very sly, especially when you back them into a corner. And for me, this reads like silence before the storm. I'm afraid for more so what he's gonna do to people who have joined the bandwagon and kind of like being his and trying to cause his demise. I just have to, allegedly for entertainment purposes, I think a lot of people need to be very careful because I think he is very much watching and plotting against everyone who's kind of like um, going up against him. And I would not be surprised if that's why a lot of people in the industry are jumping on the bandwagon and be like, hey, yeah, he did this and he did that. A lot of the stuff that I'm seeing a lot of people are regurgitating is old videos and clips that people have done about P. Diddy over the years. It's not anything currently. You don't really hear a lot of people currently um, speaking up or defending a lot of people unless it's people who probably were like on Bad Boys label who really have a lot of animosity against him. Like what's that girl? Is it Dawn or something like that? Or no, it's the white girl from Danity Kane, who she's always had like a tumultuous relationship with him, but like you don't really hear too many people kind of like coming up and just like spitting on him and being like, oh yeah, I can vouch for that and this and this and that. You don't hear too many people in the industry that are like moving against him. Like people are trying to be real hush hush about it, and I think that's because he. I said this previously about I think in the again linking it here in the P Diddy party video that I did. I think he is in a room with some very powerful people. And at the end of the day, they know if he goes down or if people start spilling beans, it's only a matter of time before people start connecting the dots that they may also be a part of it. And so I think he's really waiting to see if other people is probably gonna those powerful partners he has in the back, if they're really gonna like have his back and protect him as they always have done. And I think that's also why a lot of people in the industry are not speaking up because he has some very powerful connections in the industry. You don't get as big and as rich as P. Diddy is and not like rub elbows with some like interesting characters. Forgetting oneself. Now, that's pretty interesting. This feels like gaslight. Like he really doesn't think that he's the devil. Almost. That's kind of like how I'm reading it. He doesn't see himself as the villain. He see this as a lot of willing participants, a lot of people who suddenly feel ashamed, embarrassed, um, maybe mortified because other people have probably gotten to them, not so much because of like what he has done, but other people are telling like, oh, like you were with P Diddy and you let him do all of this to you, and you thought that was okay. I don't know. That's kind of like how this one reads. But let's see what the book says. Because again, I'm rusty, so I just kind of want to brush up on this again. So for number 17, forgetting oneself, yes, stage denial. Does he not believe this is happening to him? Time as an eternal present, not fleeting but live. No progress is no regress either. Like he doesn't believe people will really turn on him. Like he couldn't believe that Cassie has opened the floodgates. He can't believe that all these people are coming out the woodwork. That people really hated him this much for the pain he has caused. Like, did you forget that you are the devil? You are again going back to what I said earlier. And I was reading the devil card, like, do you not realize that you are the boogeyman in a lot of people's closet right now? Do you not realize that? Funny what this says. It says eating a lotus flower, numbing our identity to go by the sound of a music that was never ours. You stand on the edge of the precipice and a little part of you wants to jump, but it is just a moment of rest, a moment of pause, a moment of uncreative selfishness. And mind you, if you don't know anything about Greek gods at all, Adonis, he's like one of the gods with like some of the biggest egos. It's essentially up there with what do they call him in Roman culture? It's the sun god. I'm forgetting about it right now with the lyre and stuff. Um, he was the creator of music and everything. Just very egotistical. Apollo. I knew I was gonna get it a bit. Atonement. And that's is that he feels like a lot of people are stabbing him in his back right now, and he does not appreciate that. Colorless Angel is the underlying card. That is the underlying card that he has. Mm. How do you really? I'm getting gaslit just reading these cards for him. Like, how do you really think? If everything is to be true, which which is my opinion, which is not fact. In my personal opinion, I think a lot of this stuff about him is so true. If you have not kept count, and I don't know everything. I'm not somebody who's been like big in the media, just sleuthing and going through blind items and all that stuff. I wasn't big in like the old days stuff because, hello, I was 4 or 5 years old. I was too busy trying to play with Barbies and freaking watch Sesame Street or something. Like I wasn't wrapped up in all of this. But just from the stuff I have heard over the years about P. Diddy, I'm inclined to believe that a lot of this stuff is true. I'm inclined to believe it. Like, there's no way he's winning in the court of public opinion. A lot of this is very true about him, if you ask me. When it comes to the court of public opinion, when it comes to my personal opinion, I think a lot of this is true about him. A lot of the bullying, the sexual manners, even some of the adult activity manners. I mean, even some of the readings I have done on him, some of the stuff comes through very like mischievous and dark. Like I would not be surprised if even half of this is true. Um, like it just reads like him. But let's get into this. What else is coming through for PD? Seek out information that will help you. I wonder, is that all of his victims allegedly? The younger man does not surprise me. He definitely has some sugar daddy, sugar baby, or something out here that's been. So funny enough, we have October. So I wonder if some more stuff going to be finalized, or some more stuff. Is some things going to be finalized, or some more stuff going to be coming out of October next year. Love, Mr. Champ Combs. So I did have a couple of cards that fell on the floor, and I'm going to read those to you. We have victory and some endeavor, and this usually brings about, again, because it looks like the ram card to me as well. It also brings about, it brings forth the energy of Aries or the Emperor for me. And then we have the boat, money or property through an inheritance, winning or windfall. And then we have a goal-oriented person that also fell out. But let's see, what is coming up in the future? P-Diddy, Brother Love, Sean Puffy. What is P-Diddy, Sean Puffy? There's no need to change his name so many times. A fresh start. Is he not gonna be? Is he not gonna answer for the issues he has caused? In the future for Sean Puffy, okay, this one's gonna see all this stuff with these men. If you know, you know. A two-faced friend. Is a friend gonna rat him out? It's funny I say rat him out even though it's a cat. What is the underlying energies here? So that is something else. And there's two ways you can interpret this. So remember he had colorless angel as his underlying card from the Dark Mirror Oracle. Like that was his underlying card. But he also had angel as his underlying card with the tea leaves. So it could be, yes, he does have a guardian angel. It could be that he has a spirit that is hanging around him that is causing a lot of the misfortune in his life, or more like balancing the scales, as I would like to say. But I think there is somebody in his wing, and it could be forces of good and evil is battling over him. But I think there. Why am I getting? I feel like it's okay. I'm just gonna state this here because I'm getting this as well. It feels like he's not really the. I feel like he is not really the target. I feel like there's somebody above him or around him, attached to him in some kind of way, that is the real target. Mm, I don't know why that's coming through, but I feel like there's somebody around him or something that's coming through. Um, but I feel like there's some spiritual force around him that is, and if you've seen Bella's video, because she did say she feels like that was coming through for her, she felt like Kim Porter was, staying around him, making sure he atoned for that. And I'm not trying to say that, but I am trying to say that. I don't know exactly who this is, or again what this force is, but I do think there is some forces beyond. Okay, here we go into the woo woo. So like I said, if you are not here for this kind of reading, we get into the woo woo. I do feel like there is some on the spiritual plane, something above us, something beyond this earthly realm, this mundane world. I definitely think there's something around here that is kind of like forcing things, molding things, kind of pushing things forward, this maneuvering the chess pieces, so to speak. Somebody, again, to me it just feels like somebody is trying to balance out the scales. Again, somebody is trying to correct the wheel. Right is wrong. Um, yeah, somebody is feeling like, okay, you have gone on long enough. Um, Kind of like doing what you're doing and you haven't really learned from it. So it's time for some course correction here. And again, if the sunrise is in regards to what's going to be coming through for Diddy, I do not think he's going to get this sunrise until he actually atones. He actually answers for his he pays his penance. Essentially, I think he has to pay his penance. And it's not unto me or to you, maybe the court of law, maybe, but it's not for me or you, the public. Is not for us to kind of like dictate that, unless you're on going to be on the jury of his peers. But I think there is just something here about he's going to have to pay his penance, whether that is financially, mentally, emotionally, physically. There is some kind of penance that he has to pay, spiritually, whatever that is. There is some kind of wrong that has to be righted. And if you're somebody who's like you're a root girly or anything like that, if you're just a spiritual person, you know that it's only so far the scales can tip before it has to go back right. Like you can't keep expecting it to tilt this way because it's only so far it's gonna go. Eventually, you should have to, eventually it's gonna have to shift back the other way. Yeah. I say it's forces outside of our control that is in charge of this right now at this point, but I do think there is some penance that he's going to have to pay for sure. I think right now he's just kind of going through a humbling moment. I think he's feeling, and humbling may not be the right word, but I think right now he is definitely there is some enlightenment. There is some self discovery, some self reflection, maybe that is going on. That he is going to have to come to terms with. Like you can't hide this for too long. But yeah, that's all I'm getting for P Diddy. We'd love to see if some of this kind of come true, especially like with the timing here with the October. Um, and I wonder if he is going to try to flee because we did have, what was that, the Six of Swords? Yep, the Six of Swords here. And they usually kind of speaks to like moving forward, moving on, wanting to move away from the trouble and things like that. But again, I don't think he's going to see the other side. He's not going to see the sun rise until he sees that sunset. He's going to have to kind of go through that dark night of the soul because it is being uh, requested. It is being demanded of him because of a lot of the stuff he has done. Like people want to see him pay, even if it's just people want to see him suffer just because they're jealous. It's some yeah, it's some balancing of the scales. I keep having to say that. So with that being said, I know I'm a little rusty. I probably didn't get as deep into this as I normally do, but let me warm back up to this. I promise, I promise. So let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Like this video if you like this video. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Share if you care, and then subscribe because I have definitely been gaining new subscribers, and I thank you all so much. But until the next video, you all have a good day or good night wherever you are, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.